who wish to speak.
Thank you, Chairman. The first up would be Mr. Bruce Paterson.
Okay, Mr. Paterson, you have the floor.
Yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, commissioners. This is Bruce Paterson, Garwood, New Jersey. Resolution 162, 163, and 164. These three resolutions are for what appears to be reimbursement expenses from Bridgeway Rehab, Sage Elder Care, and inroads to opportunities to our paratransit system, giving rides to their patrons. The resos note one-way trips, but aren't they all really round trips? So the numbers should really be $14 and $12 per patron ride. Do these riders on the system also pay the normal county cost of ride? I think it's around $2. And also, why is Bridgeway paying more money than per patron than the other two? Resolution 165. This reso is for $33,000 in history grants to 16 applicants, which is great. However, in the wording of the reso, it's written, list is below. However, the list is not below, so could someone note who they are and how much they're receiving? Number 167. This is a little reso, but it's confusing. It states to allow a hazmat monitoring well at Lenabe Park for Carpenter Technology. Lenabe Park is actually in Kenilworth at the old shooting range, and Carpenter Technology, from what I understand, is on Liberty Avenue in Union, which is a distance away. Just needs a little clarification. Reso 171. This reso gives $250,000 to Union County Performing Arts Center for talent booking. This is a deja vu where back in 2010, the Arts Center was caught by our county prosecutor for stealing and hiding $100,000 of taxpayers' money for the same type work for the Music Fest program back then, and they had to give it back to the taxpayers. And yet no one was punished for that. So here we are again doing the same thing. To avoid any further criminality, the public would really demand what regulations are in place right now in detail to assure our tax dollars will not be stolen again. Please, in detail. Reso 172, here's another $181,000 for This Is It Productions for the same program as above. This private company was also caught by the prosecutor in Music Fest overbilling for $50,000 back in 2010. Unsure if the money was ever forced to be given back. To avoid further embarrassment, the public demands what regulations in detail are put in place to assure our tax dollars will not be wasted again. Why don't you combine these two resos into one and give it to This Is It? So all you need is to keep an eye on just one of these enterprises. Resolution 177. This is a settlement for $750,000 in a lawsuit titled Melgar versus Union County et al. The previous meeting, it was on the agenda for $250,000, but it was pulled. This meeting now, it's on the agenda for $750,000, a huge hit to the taxpayers due to someone at Union County's government's fault. Since this is our tax monies involved, we would like to know what this was about and if anyone in the county will be held liable for making us taxpayers pay out $750,000. As to general comments, let's revisit the last meeting where I noted that the worst person to chair the fiscal committee is Commissioner Hudak, since he has no financial experience. And the last time he chaired, we had the largest tax increase in the county's history of 20%. Luckily, it was offset by his blunder of not addressing the operational cost savings of Runnels Hospital when it was sold. So that, at least we were lucky on that. Last meeting, Hudak stated that the county manager will have a zero increase to the budget, which we publicly thank him for following our continual claims that it can easily be done. But then last meeting, twice, Fiscal Chair Hudak said the taxpayers will be happy to see their county tax bill stay flat. I'm sure Finance Director Billy Taylor almost had a coronary over that gaffe. But Hudak doesn't realize that county finances and resultant taxes is due to equalized values of the towns. all 21 towns' county tax bills will never stay flat at the same time. This reflects his incompetence to handle our county finances, so I can offer mine or even John Berry's of the County Watcher Services to try to help Fiscal Chair Hudak through this year's budget cycle. One observation is that the recent closing of the Juvenile Detention Center, along with the accruing surplus of the old Runnels Hospital closing, should easily decrease all our taxes, county taxes, that is. So we will see. Thank you very much.
All right, I will start with the last part first, and then I'll ask some of the directors to jump in and explain some of the questions that you had. First of all, I mean, I'm not going to listen, every week that you're going to kind of criticize Commissioner Hudak. He's more than competent. He has my full confidence. He understands budgets probably better than you do, and will decline your offer for any assistance. And that assistance we do not need. So let's move on to some other questions that have somewhat basis and relevance. Let's move on to 162, 163, 164 on reimbursements. And Director Anderson, can you shed some light on that, please?
Through you, Chair. These are negotiated contracts with these organizations. So why Bridgeway is higher is based on a state and Bridgeway's negotiated rate. It is one way. That's how the contract is written per one-way trip. It's been on it's been a part of the county partnership for years. This is not the first time, and the $7 for Bridgeway is really standard based on what other paratransit organizations are doing with mental health organizations throughout the state. Adult daycare for Sage and Inroads for the special needs communities, that is, and senior communities, that are the standard rates established by the state as well. So that's why those are the costs as well.
Okay, Director Anderson, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Director Zuber, do you have any commentary on the history grants?
Yes, Commissioner, I can list these 16 groups for you. Borough of Fanwood is receiving $1,200. Cranford Historical Society is receiving $650. Cranford Preservation Society is receiving $2,200. Elizabeth Public Library, $2,300. Fanwood Scotch Plains Rotary Frazee House is getting $2,500. Historic Midtown Elizabeth SID is getting $750. Historical Society of Elizabeth is receiving $2,500. Historical Society of Plainfield is receiving $3,500. Kenilworth Historical Society is getting $2,800. Linden Public Library is getting $2,300. Merchants and Drovers Tavern Museum Association is receiving $2,500. Reeves Reed Arboretum is getting $2,500. Springfield Free Public Library, $1,000. Union Township Historical Society, $2,000. Visual Arts Center of New Jersey in Summit is receiving $1,800. And the Westfield Historic Society is receiving $2,500.
All right, thanks, Director. If that isn't already posted someplace on our website, could you see to it that it is? The
Yes,
public
sir.
may have interest in, what the projects are and the amount that's available to them. That would be terrific. We're proud of those groups, and we hope they utilize the grant funding wisely. Director, there was also a question on Lenape Park. Can you clarify that, please?
Yes, Lenape Park is in more than one town, just not Kenilworth. In this particular case, Carpenter Technologies has offices at 1105 Springfield Road in Union, which backs up to our property. They have a DEP requirement, which needs them to put in monitoring wells on their property, but they also need one on our property, and that's what this resolution is about, to get access to install a monitoring well.
All right, very good. Thank you, Director.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask the county manager to speak on 171 and 172. County Manager Oatman.
Thank you, Chairman. The reason why these two resolutions cannot be combined is because they're two separate companies. I'm not sure what the issue is there, but the only deja vu involved is this is a repeat of our widely successful drive-in concert series from last year. As you stated earlier, people are looking for any and all safe outdoor activities. We held several concerts at the Votech, a holiday concert. We had something at Kane, something at Cedarbrook. So this is the same exact resolutions as we did last year.
Okay, Very good. County Manager, thank you very much.
Chairman.
There was a question, County Council Bergen on 177. Can you, as much as you can, elaborate on that, please?
Yes, Chairman, thank you. This was, as the speaker noted, on the agenda last week. It was pulled and brought back on today. The amount of money the county is paying on the settlement of this case hasn't changed. In fact, we did pull it so we could make sure that it was clear to the public that the county was only paying a portion of this. We have a JIF that we're in and an umbrella insurance company that are paying the majority of this settlement. It is a settlement of a lawsuit concerning an automobile accident, which was in fact an accident, but unfortunately did cause some injuries, and that's why it is being settled. So it was pulled and brought back on so that there would be full clarity for the public on what we're doing here. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much, County Council Bergen. I think that settles the questions from the first speaker. Mr. Clerk, let's move on to the second